This is a fascinating story, and
Mhm.
also another fascinating book to possibly read.
Yeah, I
So
want to get this book.
I want to get this book, right? I mean, we were talking about Harold Heath book about, like, 99% of the
Mhm.
DJs, never make it. And again, that's not an
Yeah,
epiphany, right? But
yeah,
this book here, it's by Marie Staggat and Timo Stein. I hope I'm saying that right. And
yeah.
it's called Hush, Hush, Berlin Club Culture and a Time of Silence. And it's
Mhm.
basically a book about talking about, how these about 20 or 25 clubs, they're, basically this person, one person's a photographer, the other person's a journalist. So they're talking to these
Mhm.
club owners, everyone in the club scene, who works in the club scene, be it,
Yeah.
the club owners, the bartenders, the janitors, everyone, the dancers, the DJs. They're talking
Mhm.
about everyone in the club scene in Berlin. All the clubs are like closed, and these are mostly clubs in East Berlin. Um,
Mhm.
and they're talking to these people how the pandemic, has affected their business, just their work, everything else. Again, it
Decimated.
sounds like a fascinating book to
Yeah.
just sit back and read.
Mhm. Yeah, so they went to I don't know how many clubs was it? Uh
20 to 25.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked to the owners, everybody. They talked to them, tried to get their perspective, their thoughts on what's happened and the government's response to it. And they took these eerie pictures of just this empty places.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that without if you didn't know about, oh, there's a pandemic going on, and you took these pictures, it wouldn't mean anything. I was like, oh, it's the empty club. But
Right.
because of the whole situation, everything that you know about this thing, it just adds this extra layer of meaning to it. And for us in the industry, and we've both played in clubs, we've played in bars and lounges, like this hits close to home. And I think the other DJs probably would be fascinated to see other people's perspective on it. And that's kind of what I wanted to do when I talk about this stuff, is that everybody's isolated into their city and whatever's going on with their city, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of talk about what is happening to other people, and so they can't they're missing out on the other parts of the story. And I think the story is fascinating,
This
the
is a
response and
fascinating
everything.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm scrolling through like the little piece that DJ Times did, and
Mhm.
they just like, you know, again, just going through some of the clubs and pictures of the clubs, talking to some of the
Images.
people. Yeah, the images are weird.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing about this here is the again, this is a photographer and a journalist, so there are going to
Mhm.
be like really dope pictures in this book. I can only imagine. I'm picking this book up, but you can only get it from a specific area now, but hopefully it'll be available on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I may buy it from the source, but I think it's a
Mhm.
German company, so I don't know how the mail and
It's gonna
everything is going
take
to work.
20 years
It's going
before
to
you
take
get
20
this thing.
years, dude. Forget about it. I mean, it will
Yeah.
take 20 years before this thing gets here. I mean, like, it's definitely with the mail going on here.
Oh,
But
yeah, this is gonna
yeah,
be
this is
brutal.
a fascinating story. It just goes to show you that um, we're not talking about places like Miami and Atlanta.
Mhm.
I keep bringing them up
Yeah.
because
They're
apparently
open.
there's no pandemic in those two cities, right?
These
Um,
guys are chilling, like nothing's going
they're
on.
open. Everything's open for business. But there are,
Mhm.
like, here in DC, the club scene has just been completely decimated.
Yeah.
Baltimore club scene completely decimated. New
Mhm.
York decimated. LA, San
Yeah.
Francisco gone. Right. I'm quite sure Toronto,
It's the
Montreal,
same. Oh, it's
Quebec,
brutal up
all of
here.
them. Just like
Yeah.
it's Chicago, Detroit. It's just forget about it. It's just
Yeah.
how are these clubs going to come back?
I don't
One,
think they are. I
and I was
honestly,
about
I
to
don't think
say,
they
and
are.
two, are they still in business? Because
I
clubs
don't
don't make money off of, like, they're not making money off the door. You make money in
No.
clubs
Even
from
at the
the
bar.
alcohol. Yeah, the
It's only
bar.
from the bar.
It's from the
You're
bar.
you're barely I don't even think you're breaking in just having people in there.
No, not
If
at the
people
door.
don't buy drinks
Hmm.
and you buy your $15 beer and your $10 martini or
Exactly.
whatever,
Mhm.
That's how they're making their money.
That's how they make their
Because
money.